Thank you. My name is Professor ABDULGANIYU AMBALI, the Vice Chancellor of this great university, University of Ilorin, the Better by Far University. Growing up here was fun because when you are young, you don't think too much about tomorrow. You only enjoy the present. And then with your friends around, you feel, life, can be fun. And when you have your parents taking care of every needs that you may come up with, you are excited and happy. So it was a good time then. And then growing up, you now start, experiencing the world as it is, and you start losing that euphoria of being young, and you become more responsible. You think maybe twice or 10 times on issues before you take actions, and then you start coming down as you age. And I thank God for allowing me to experience parenthood from my parents and my youth with my friends, and then now meeting the challenge on my own, it was fun. I started my primary school here in Ilorin, Pakata Primary School. Thereafter, I proceeded to McBride, Secondary School in Jalingo, in Taraba State, and thereafter I went to ABU, for my degree, and that was a turning point in my life between completing secondary school and going to university, School of Basic Studies. I had wanted to study so many things. At a point I wanted to be an accountant. Then I changed my mind to be an industrial chemist. Then thereafter engineering. I wanted to read aviation engineering because we had aviation school near ABU, so it was a center of attraction to me. Then during the SBS, School of Basic Studies program, which is a 1-year advanced studies, I was contemplating, should I read engineering, should I read medicine, and then suddenly a group of lecturers came to address us as we were about to complete our School of Basic Studies, and they came from vet medicine, some professors, and I said, wow, I would love this. And then, of course, the option then was to read medicine, and but I wasn't, prepared to see, the cadaver and the rest of them. So when they brought vet medicine, I said, oh, as a Muslim, I've been seeing, during Eid festivals, we've been, dealing with animals, slaughtering them, and seeing this cool standard. So that's why I went for it. I think the major challenge that education is facing these days is on the issue of availability of resources. If I say resources, I mean in terms of lecture theaters, in terms of qualified academic staff, availability of laboratories, availability of consumables to run the laboratories, then the security within the university, and transparency in some cases. So all those things are a major challenge to education. But we thank God that during the time that God gave me the opportunity, we'll be able to address some of those things because the issue of inadequate lecture theaters, we've been able to address that. The issue of security problem or insecurity, we'll be able to inject some level of security into the system in terms of increased manpower, in terms of lightening up dark areas that usually attract people of the underworld, and then in terms of alertness of our security, it's been improved upon. Also, our relationship with the state security agents, have been drastically improved. We now relate with them more often and in a better atmosphere, and they are better disposed in carrying out their responsibilities. In terms of students' welfare, we have been able to also look into that, because that's another challenge, because where a student doesn't have enough accommodation, enough light and water supplies, he will not be very comfortable in listening and taking lectures and reading thereafter. So we'll be able to inject some level of improvement in those areas as well. It's a better educated society. It makes life more comfortable both to the leaders and the led, because it's not easy leading ignorant group of people. But when you have people that are educated, that are in tune with what is going on in the society, it will be better managed, and then through that you'll be able to achieve much. Whatever innovation you are bringing, if you are talking to an educated group of people, they will be able to assimilate and put it into practice. So those are things that I feel once resources are devoted to education, I'm sure everybody will be better for it. Let me start with the trying period. I think the trying period, I thank God there were very few. The first was the first few weeks of my assumption of duty. We experienced some, armed robbery, between the gate and this place. And it happened once, then twice, and then the third time. And it was a great challenge to me. And the students were on, and then, they started, expressing themselves, of course, as a human being, they reacted. And they wanted to go and meet those who are residing within our land, who happen to be the Fulani herdsmen. And they said they would go and attack them because they suspected that they were the one carrying out the armed robbery. And it took me almost a whole night to convince them to drop that idea, and I assured them that something would be done. And so we had to meet at management level, and then we now evolved a strategy to counter those moves. And luckily, by the time we put all our decisions in place, things calmed down. So that was one of the great challenging moments that I experienced. The other one was about 6 months or so ago, when the issue of one lecturer slapping or not slapping a student, and that was another tense moment that nearly got the university into negative limelight, and it took a lot of us within the team to also manage the situation, and I thank God that things were addressed. Another tense moment was when we had the fire, incident in teak plantation, and it was also a challenging one. But otherwise, I thank God for helping me to manage, the affairs of University of Ilorin up to this moment. As for the other aspects, almost, every day has been a merry day, especially I like doing things that will put smile on people's face. I love that, so as much as possible, I try to be humane in my approach to issues, and addressing people's challenges, brings me joy. So sometimes you do something that you feel will touch the lives of people around you positively, then I feel happy. So there are quite a number of those moments that I cannot continue to recollect, but I thank God for the opportunity. Thank you. I think I married when I was 20-something. I was just completing my school of basic studies when I was in Maiduguri, where I grew up. And then my wife came to her uncle to spend her holidays, and that's where we met. And a humble, I wouldn't say playboy, but a humble young man. Then we thank God that today we are, 30-something years in our relationship, and we are blessed with children. We thank God. My philosophy of life is, to be good to everybody you meet along the way, and wait for the dividend of your good actions from God, not from an individual, not from the person you did it to, because if you wait for a particular person to reward you for the good you have done to that person, you'll be disappointed, because things don't go that way. But my philosophy is, do what you expect people to do to you, and then you allow God to out-reward you. So that's my philosophy in life. I think we are trying our best. As far as town and gown is concerned, we've tried our best to get close to our host community, and they are by attending their functions. And whenever we have functions here at the university, we do invite them and then make them feel at home, and then continue to relate and interact with them to make sure that they have confidence in us, because they are our hosts, we are their guests, and then some of the students we have belongs to them, and which means whatever is happening in the university, whether we like it or not, the community knows. And so it's, I think we have been able to try our best to get close to the community, and they are also happy to have us. Well, my advice to the VC designate is just to continue to be a team leader, and then to continue to listen to his team members, because there is nothing better than aggregating ideas from those that you rely on. One, it gives you the ability to test the other side of opinion apart from yours. It also gives them that confidence that you have in them for bringing them to come and assist you in running the affairs of the university. Because if you feel your opinion should be supreme all the time, there's every likelihood that they will be discouraged. They will become reluctant in even sharing any good idea they may have because they know it's going to be overruled, that kind of thing. So to be a good listener, to test their hypothesis as it goes, and then by the time somebody proposes to you and you test it and it fails, next time that particular person, if he has conscience, he will make sure that he analyze whatever is going to tell you very carefully next time. So instead of you being embarrassed, you will be the one to be challenged. That look, you gave me the wrong idea a few days ago. Now you are giving me another one. I hope it's well sensitized, or so that kind of thing. And then to students also, it's good to also listen to them because they are your eyes and ears among all the students. And of course, the Dean Student Affairs and the sub-deans are also representing you at that level. It's good to listen to them. And then for the students, let them know that the incoming Vice Chancellor is their father, and then they should listen to him and then have confidence in him that he is going to advise them correctly and is not going to lead them astray. So they should have every confidence to come to him to, discuss their ideas, to discuss their fears, and then believe in whatever decision it takes on their behalf is for their benefits. Thank you. Well, first of all, I'm going to take some rest and then, relax for, 1 or 2 months. And then thereafter, go for sabbatical leave, probably to somewhere in the north. And then, continue to have the interest of University of Ilorin in my heart. Wherever I go, having led this university for 5 years, it can't be forgotten easily. Thank you. All right.